I wanted to show off Haitani's list. He recently hit master apparently with every single character in the game, which is amazing. So he made us and everyone a tier list of his personal opinion of what tiers everyone belongs in. And disclaimer, this is always crazy because everyone has an extremely different opinion on tier lists, and it's still very early. Yeah, tier lists are still like hard opinions, and I've seen some crazy picks, but this one has a little bit of merit to it with him hitting master with everyone. So really quick, he has Cammy, Ken, and DJ in S tier. A+ tier is Luke and Jury. I would say an A tier is JP, Manon, and Chun-Li. B+ is Guile, Blanca, and Jamie. B, Honda, Kimberly, and Marissa. No, I'm sorry. Is it Marissa?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Marissa. C+ is Dulcim and Ryu. And C is Zangief and Lily. Now, I was kind of curious to see what you guys actually thought about this. And if you guys want to check this out, this is in the R Fighters subreddit. I also posted it in our Discord podcast chat. So if Anjim, you want to take a look at that, you're more than welcome to click on it.
Maybe we can like throw it up on the screen, or do we just because we have the multi screens, we don't have to break that down.
I mean,
it's too much work. It's too much work to do later.
That's why I posted it in so you could actually look at it.
I got you.
But yeah, I was curious to see what you guys thought of this tier list, and do you think it's legit? You guys agree with this tier list? Anyone want to go first?
I think consensus is easiest at the bottom. And I mean, again, this game is wonderfully balanced, and honestly, it's kind of the two characters I think a lot of people are saying are the weakest are Lily and Zangief, which I totally see. I think that's even among other tier lists I've seen, I usually see them at the bottom. What I find most interesting about that is that Akainu, someone in Ripple Kumite earlier, did some serious work with Lily. Or at least if I remember that correctly, I know someone did very, very good work with Lily. So, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely one of those things where it's like, okay, because the character is low tier, does that mean they just don't perform well in ranked, or is the character low tier because people don't
know how to use them yet?
Because they don't know how to use them yet, or is the character low tier, but because they're low tier, no one plays against them, so they get the bump on the knowledge check matchup. You know what I mean? I think there's so many interesting things that go into it. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, if you know what you're doing, you can absolutely win with a low tier character.
Mm-hmm.
It might be more work, but you can absolutely do it. So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that those are the lowest tier characters. I definitely want, Lily, because she's awesome, to get some buffs, as well as my boy Zangief to get some buffs. But I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, if you can still dominate even from, fighting from the corner. So yeah, I think it's an interesting list. Absolutely.
Quintessence, what do you think, man?
I feel like this list has Guile fairly low. Personally, I would put Guile up in the S tier, or at least the A+ tier, along with Luke and Jerry.
Right.
Because this is kind of like where Guile thrives. Like, these mechanics work really well for Guile. Guile is more able to force you to play his game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Guile's just... he's eaten really well in Street Fighter 6. And I almost think that this list downplays him.
I think,
but then there's also DJ in S tier, and I believe he's like the best character in the game. So,
yeah, I mean, so I think the reason why he's in B is because he can struggle with pretty much most everyone here on some level. Each of these people have a way of combating Guile, and Guile's only kind of hope a lot of times is his Sonic Blade. So a lot of these people kind of will, could counter him easily in terms of like, especially to charge. A lot of times you have to stop moving, which kind of is like a little bit hard to deal with, especially with, grapplers and, but who knows? Who knows? Like, I feel like JP and Guile is a really incredibly tough matchup. Especially, considering Guile has to charge. JP can just spam his, like, little ground attack. And there are certain times where you just have to eat mix-ups. And Guile really has to use a lot of his drive meter to be able to kind of bust through a lot of issues that JP throws at you. And then once you're out of your drive meter, then he chips the hell out of you with his like stupid ground, spikes or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just him. Like, it could be worse, but I think it is a little bit of a tough matchup for him. Manon, of course, is a hybrid grappler. And then all of these other people kind of do in some ways have like they're rushed down, or they have like just some tools that can make him struggle. So I think that's why, but I don't think he's like B+ by like a wide margin. I feel like he could easily, be in A or A+ or even S in the right hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we also have Chun-Li in A tier, and I think she'll probably end up moving like up slowly over the course of like Street Fighter 6's life, because Chun-Li seems to have a lot of like mechanical depth, especially with like all of her like stance cancels and stuff that she has now. So I think we're gonna see like Chun-Li move to like S tier prominence at some point.
Not only that, but the sliding under fireballs,
as people figure her out.
Yeah. The ability to slide under fireballs is huge. Yeah, no, same. Yep.
Yeah, no, Chun is like huge in this game. Like her move pool is colossal for a Street Fighter character, and she has an answer to pretty much everything.
Yep. Yep.
But it's not immediately like
yes
accessible, I guess you could say.
I think one of the things that always elevates Chun is she's always a solidly technical character that has a tool for almost everything if you know how to use it. And I think we're still too early in the game for everyone to have figured her out. But I remember an SF5, because I think it was more mechanically simple game at a universal level. When people started optimizing Chun, she was just so scary, so dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think if and when people figure out in this game, she is going to be a threat in every matchup she goes against. Absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Yeah. And then we have Ken. Ken definitely deserves to be in the S tier. Oh my lord. Ken's like plus loops. You can't escape if you don't have like gauge to escape. You're just stuck there. And then maybe he'll just throw you instead of doing the plus loop. It's kind of absurd.
Yeah.
It's easy too. Ken's also super easy. So it's a rough matchup for pretty much anyone that like has issues dealing with pressure. So
I would say if I were going to change something here, I don't think Jamie deserves to be a B+. I think he's far lower tier character than that.
Yeah, I'd move him down.
Yeah,
I'd move him to like with Ryu and Dhalsim even. Like
maybe at the best.
I don't see what Jamie brings to the game. Like
I hear when he gets all his gourd drinks, he is absolutely a threat. It's
so
he's
okay. That's the problem.
His gourd drinks.
That's okay. That's the problem. Is
he's suffering the Necalli effect. Like, oh, Necalli's install is so good. Yes, but what about outside of that?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't really do anything. Oh, he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. And it doesn't stack like Manon's medal. You know what I mean? Manon at least gets to keep her medals in between rounds. Jamie,
which is bullshit, by the way. She shouldn't get to keep her medals between rounds. What is that? Like I understand Jamie not keeping his drinks. That's fine, but Manon shouldn't keep her medals. That's absurd.
In the buffs
in
not
one
work.
In one round, she could stack like 4 of them.
Yeah. Don't let her grab you.
And then she just kills you in 3 grabs in the next round.
Grab you,
like,
bro.
wait.
Don't get got. Nah,
Oh my
man.
God.
In the buffs not worse in the buffs not nerfs world, I say you get to keep everything. Except
Oh
for
my
like
lord.
the only like in SF5 I could understand you losing stuff. That was a different game, different pace, different feel. It was easier to get your tiers of things. But in this game, like nah, like everyone should be able to keep it. You know what I mean? And just let it rock.
So should like Lily keep her win stacks?
I mean, well,
Should
no, because
freaking Jury
Lily
keep her stacks?
Lily's wins. Don't even get me started on New Jury because I'm still salty. We'll never get our mid fireball back. I'm so mad our fireball's a low fireball now. But that's beside the point.
You
Anyway,
traded out the low fireball for like an amazing overhead
we're-
and a new pressure tool.
what?
So.
Nah, man, give me my give me my
Jury's fucking
mid-fireball.
great. A+, yeah, for sure.
No. All I'm saying is that like Jury's and Lily's like it's different. The drinks and the medals, you should just be able to keep them and just like I want a character that like gets scarier as the set goes on. Like that's a cool archetype.
I think the fact that we can have this conversation, and when I'm looking at this actual tier list, it makes me realize how balanced this game is in terms of like everyone has a good chance of beating other characters. Besides maybe.
I haven't seen Dhalsim do anything. I have not seen that character do a damn thing.
Dhalsims are weirdly technical, and I think I think this game is kind of weird because again, I almost want to say the devs thought Dhalsim in 5 was too scary, so they kind of overreacted by making him a little less. No, he was awesome. He was awesome in 5. Oh my god, offensive Dhalsim, that shit was awesome to watch.
Yeah.
But I think
should be a rush down zoner.
Nah, baby,
right?
that was so sick, so sick. It's new school Dhalsim, baby. But yeah, no, I'm a little sad that he kind of went back to his kind of old, like kind of stalish zoner ways a little bit in this game. Like he still can rush down, it's just not as effective.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think Dhalsim will still like there aren't a lot of big Dhalsim fans out there, sadly. So I think it's going to be a while before people finally like figure out the limits of this character, if any.
Right.
I would love to see him tuned upward to be more like his SF5 incarnation. But I think it's gonna be a long while before he gets there, just because, again, he's a character not many people play. Let's just be honest. So, yeah, we'll see.
And Jim, what do you think, man? You have any opinions about this tier list?
Oh man, what did I say about JP? I hear a lot of stories about JP, how he has a grab and he could I forget that movie. It's
so many moves.
The command grab.
Out of the ground. No, he's came out of the ground and something comes up. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, the ground spike.
Yeah, and also Marissa and Zangief. And I heard that they say Ihan was kind of broke. I was like, I don't think I see that. I see people have a problem with Zangief and Marissa because they power characters. That's the attributes, and they deal with big damage. That's them. That's how they how they are huge. I don't know why people complain about that, but I mean,
yeah, big but slow.
Yeah.
Kind of the archetype of those characters. And honestly, I'd love to see Marissa get a buff or at least a change because I think more people need to understand the threat of big characters. But yeah, I mean,
At the low
like,
levels, she has a lot of threat.
yeah, like she can do a lot of damage just getting that damage. So I'd love to see her get some different moves. Like, imagine if like off the like the big power arm that like is like a shield break, she had to cancel. Like either she could spend like you had to decide at the time of the move, but you could decide to make it a feint or just decided to leave it. Like that would be so scary because like people have to make that split second decision. Is like, is she faking or is she going for it? You know what I mean? Like that would be so sick. I'd love to see that change.
I have one last comment. Whoever decided that
on.
DJ should have a double fireball should be fired.
DJ's back. My boy's back. He hasn't been back since SF2.
That's his only kind of tool though to like that's actually one of the only reasons why Guile struggles with him is because of his double fireball.
Yeah.
Except, at least when I was kind of when I was playing him the other day, you have to use meter to kind of get around that. Or you got to use Sonic Blade. I see the cats.
The cats are having so much fun right there.
They're having fun. Are they brother and sister or?
No, they're not.
No. They're just
They
friends.
are now, baby.
They're just
They've
buddies.
been together for like
Vin Diesel style family.
4 or 5 days now.
Okay.
But nah, they're your cats are mad cute. I'd watch a cat stream.
Oh yeah, pull Quintessa's cat stream. So moving
okay,
on.
but
Stream, baby.
No, I
Yeah.
did just want to say that like
Oh my god.
tier lists are cool. Gameplay is better, and as I said, I think a year out from now we'll know kind of more where characters stand on the average, and then we can
for sure.
start predicting changes.